Time continuum. Are you one of those people who constantly fight stress or anxiety, or know of someone who does? This is really interesting because as I've looked at stress and anxiety, which I find ubiquitous in society today, I'm realizing that lots of times, well, majority of the time or all the time, it's because we are engaged in prediction error. We have a very biased way of looking at life based upon past experiences, right? We're very selective on the data that we're pulling out of the world that's going on around us. So yesterday, on a time continuum, is all about stress. I'm looking at things that happened yesterday. I'm thinking about it. Man, it just stresses me out thinking about all the stuff that's happened. Tomorrow is what I interpret or predict is going to happen. That's anxiety. I'm going to give a speech. Well, number one fear in society today is giving speeches, then dying. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Well, what are we telling ourselves that's not true about giving a speech? That we would rather die than give a talk or a speech is kind of interesting. It kind of speaks to how our subconscious can completely hijack reality and logic. Most people, when they listen to a speaker speak, are basically saying, I'm glad that person's up there, not me. Now, if you're so worried that they're going to judge that you're not doing a good job, it's because you're telling yourself a story that may or may not be true, but is insignificant in life. If tomorrow's all about anxiety and yesterday is all about stress, can you see what's missing? You see, there's no today. You're not living in the present. In order for you to grow, in order for you to become the person you want to be, you're going to have to accept, or let me reframe that, because I don't like being told what I have to do. In order for you to move into acceptance, there's a certain protocol that you can follow if you want to. I'm inviting you to do it. One of those things to do is to learn how to practice being perfect. Now, as a Christian, you're going to be uncomfortable with that initially, so I want to kind of give you contextual definition behind the word perfect. In the scriptures, it says that be therefore perfect even as God is perfect, right? Okay, I get that. And a lot of people think that I'm supposed to be perfect like God. I can't do that, at least not while I'm alive. But the perfect that I understand, and I've taken a little mix of psychology and try to understand what does that passage really mean to me? Well, if I believe in a God and I believe in the atonement, that means I get to make mistakes because my mistakes get retakes. What makes the Christian religion so unique is that we will have what's called a blood atonement instead of the law of Moses. What makes other religions so unique is they have to have revenge. The Mosaic law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, which is actually misinterpreted the way they're implementing it. I'm suggesting in your life, if you learn to live in a perfect state, which means, by definition, an experience or an event that is exactly what you need at this time or at that time to come closer to integration, becoming integrated upstairs and downstairs, to become closer to God. Because perfect is a mistake that gets a retake. If I live in yesterday, I don't get retakes. If I live in tomorrow, I'm concerned about what they're going to say and I'm fearful of the judging. If I live in the now, if I can accept me for who I am, I'm willing to do the retake off the mistake. Only then, because every time I make a mistake, I do a retake, I can compound towards not doing it as often. And my mistakes are further and farther between. They're less severe. When I overcome it, it's less time to overcome it, to process through being flooded. The time continuum is basically giving me a vision, a visual, that when I'm stressed, I'm thinking about yesterday. When I'm anxious, I'm predicting what's going to happen tomorrow. A healthy place to be, and God lives in one eternal now, is today. Live for the now and accept being perfect. I'll see you in the next video.